Pennsylvania, with 850,000 members, United Steelworkers is the largest private sector union in North America, with 50,000 of those in the Keystone State. They also count U.S. Steel employees as members and have endorsed Vice President Harris. But both candidates and the Biden administration have opposed the Nippon Steel takeover, advocating for domestic ownership of U.S. Steel instead. Let's bring in David McCall now, president of USW. David, welcome.
Thank you and good afternoon.
Why are you so convinced, I guess is the way I would ask it, that when leadership says selling to Nippon Steel would help to save jobs, invest more, and create, better income in future, better competitiveness, more job opportunities in the future, why doesn't that land with you?
Well, Nippon Steel has a long track record of dumping products into the United States, and our concern is about the long-term viability of blast furnace steelmaking capacity here in the United States, not just for consumer goods, but for exposed automotive, tin products that go into all food cans, and of course, military grade. So we think it's a real issue around national defense and critical supply chain that we maintain blast furnace operations here in the U.S. And we don't think Nippon Steel is prepared to do that.
Are Nippon's operations superior? Is its technology going to replace much of the way that steel has traditionally been made in this country?
Well, they have talked about transferring some of the production we make in blast furnace operations here in western Pennsylvania and in northwest Indiana towards their electric arc furnaces in Arkansas. If we transfer that kind of steelmaking production into electric arc furnaces, we won't have the ability to produce blast furnace virgin steel here in the U.S.
But it would, so in other words, they'd be moving it to a different part of the United States, but you want to keep it in Pennsylvania?
It's not only moving into a different part of the United States, it's also how steel's processed, rather from blast furnaces into electric arc furnaces that use primarily scrap as opposed to raw materials.
Right. And again, this has been an area where many analysts would say Nippon has innovated and their share price reflects that superior methodology.
Now, we would disagree in terms of steelmaking processes. We certainly have enough electric arc furnaces here in the United States where you can make the products that are needed, whether it be for appliances or others. But it's still that critical supply chain issues around blast furnace production.
Understood. On the election more broadly, it sounds like both of the candidates would try to block this deal from happening. But you've cast your loyalties in the Harris direction?
Well, in our union, we have a process called Your Union, Your Voice, where we go out and talk to our members. We have town hall meetings to find out what their concerns and what their issues, hopes, and aspirations are going on into the future. From that, we send out questionnaires to candidates, and based on those responses, that's how we develop our endorsements. And in this case, there's been no question that the Biden-Harris team over the last 4 years and going on into the future talk a lot about the issues that concern us the most around employment security, economic security, and retirement security. And clearly,
sure,
with the industrial policies that the Biden-Harris administration has put in place over the last 4 years, that's where long-term viability and sustainability comes for our members in the operations that they work with.
Has it gotten closer? And now that we see certain unions openly supporting Trump's presidential bid, for instance, and they seem to be more openly courting the union vote, has that made it a closer call amongst your members or no?
Well, I think the election is going to be close no matter what. I think all the polls tell us that. But and look, how our members vote, that's their own personal choice. What we talk to them about is what the policies are and how it impacts them in the workplace. At the end of the day, for us, it's really about the policies, not the politics. So members will make their own choice based on whatever policies most will help them in the workplace.